The universe really is quite amazing. God, if you want to call it that. Everything is set up in such a perfect sequence. I had a lot of resentment building up over the last few months between myself and a friend and business partner, and I kept trying to address it softly, indirectly. As a leader, it's not a great tact. It's a great first tact, but when you have to repeat it the second time, it's no good anymore. You need to be more direct. People don't get what we're hinting at often. And so what I've been doing is trying to work out how I can avoid this issue, because I'm stressed out about it and I don't want to talk to him about it, and I don't want to be direct, and I don't want to break the relationship, and all this stuff coming up in my mind constantly swarming. I can't sleep, wake up. When I do sleep, I wake up not rested, tension all over the body, stress, because I'm avoiding this thing that I know that I need to do. And so I start talking to resources about it, seeking perspective, seeking that outside mentorship, getting it out of my head and out into the objective world, into the light of day, the light of God. And of all the people that I talked to and asked perspective on it, last night, I was speaking to my therapist, and I told her about this situation, and I typically expect my therapist to have fairly textbook answers, although she knows me very well. And so I'm always curious what comes out. And one of the things that came out was, because I was planning on having this conversation that I'm done with this, I can't handle this anymore, it's stressing me out, I don't want to keep worrying about it, it's not working, my soft approaches. They should have figured this out by now. And I was done. And I was going to call up and say, you know what, this is the parameters moving forward, I'm out of this, if we can continue on like this, and I'm setting these clear, firm boundaries and a complete reset. And my therapist said to me, Cheryl, you're all or nothing. You're in your all or nothing again. What about the middle path? And I told her, I think the middle path is stupid. But I knew after I talked to her that I had to make this call, because I couldn't keep it in my head anymore. So today I stayed up half the night worrying about scripting and how I was going to approach this, and what's the best way to not hurt anybody's feelings and make everybody know that they're appreciated, and this is just how it has to be moving ahead now. And I got into the conversation, and as I teach and will continue to teach, I didn't attempt to dictate the conversation. I allowed the conversation to dictate. And so I followed the flow, and I followed the branches. And as it was going, I was picking up these emotions, these intuitions, and thinking, I don't know if there's going to be a good spot to jump this hard cut. And the more we talked about it, the more as I teach and will continue to teach forever, I just eased into it, just 1 micron at a time. And I brought some little thing up and some little thing up, and eventually it's going to build into this place where I go, and because of all of these piles of atoms that we've built up conversationally now, that's why here's the line in the sand. And the conversation never led there, but it did lead to me expressing very directly and very cathartically all of my concerns, what I do need to see moving ahead, and how frustrated, how resentful I had become, and that I hadn't expressed that. And you know what? He was just fine. He's a strong, independent individual, and I don't know, it's my habit. Always worried about offending somebody. He wasn't offended. He understood. We have to give people their own power. We have to give people the power to be offended, and the majority of them are going to prove to us that they're much stronger than our rampant monkey minds can give them credit for.